I'm going to get that together. Now, the other big ticket item is these cradles. These cradles have to very strategically go in a certain place. And the rule is this: 2 cradles above the knee, 2 cradles below the knee, 1 cradle above the fracture site, 1 cradle below the fracture site. And you will need to know that. Hint, hint. I promise you you'll see that again. All right? So what most people do is actually try to get these things lined up before they actually put them in place, for the most part, okay? And you're not going to be exact always. And it doesn't matter if they're down here, like for Dan, he's a pretty small man also. I like to put them like that, opposed to putting them like this. It really doesn't matter, okay? It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to kind of adjust them. I'm going to go ahead and get this out to where I need it. And then I would actually go around now and actually pull traction, okay? And you want to pull traction by putting one hand under the foot here and the other hand on the strap or either on the top of the foot, and you pull. A lot of times, because you're going to be in that position for a while, a lot of times a person will sit and they will take one foot, put it against his good foot to use to actually pull, okay? But that's strictly up to you. But for the sake of this, I want you to let that go, which in actuality you would never let that go. Everybody understand that? And I want you to go down and pull traction.
You said use your on his good foot.
No, if that's what you're probably pretty strong, so you probably won't have to do that. Just grab one hand there, one under the ankle, exactly, and pull and lift. A person with a fractured femur, when you do that, that bone does this, you can see the relief in their face. They'll be willing to give you their firstborn. Because a lot of times what happens, you think about this bone has broken and it's done this, and then it does that. And a lot of times what happens is nerves, muscle, and vascular get caught in between those 2 bones. And it hurts like shit. Okay? So when you pull back and release all that, they get the relief from you doing that. Make sense? All right, go ahead and pull and lift. And now I'm going to come around and actually apply the splint. Don't ever do this from this point. I forgot to measure, didn't I? Pull it out. And then you want to go ahead and tighten it back up or lock it back in place.
How far out? How far is it going?
6 to 8 inches past the foot.
And what's the person who was doing this, doing all the guys falling?
Measuring.
Who was pushing down on the...
Okay, first, you read out the way it would go. He would do that. I would do the measurement. I would come around, pull traction, and he would actually apply the splint.
Okay.
That way the leg is never left alone.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
All right? In this class and in real life, I don't want to ever see you either pass a piece of heavy equipment across the patient or to do this. I will slap you across your face. This is a no-no. In real life and in class from this point forward. Make sense? Never, ever step across a patient. I weigh 260 pounds. I fall, land right in his belly, just created a problem that he didn't have initially. Make sense? I dropped this heavy piece of equipment onto his head. He now has a head injury.
He probably already has.
Okay? No, he's just not very smart. Okay? So now I'm going to come around. I'm going to put this in place. Okay? Okay? You see why you have to get in a position where you are going to be comfortable. Okay? Get in a position because you're going to be there for a while. Okay? When you do this, it might be a situation where I have to fish this in between Kurt's legs. Don't find yourself. I might have to fish this in between his legs or whatever I need to do to get it in place. Make sense? So I can tell you right now, you're going to have to either move to the side or there you go. All right. This strap right here is called the ischial strap. Okay? Go get a little personal. Okay? I'm going to get this in, and I want to get it in. Bring his leg down a little bit. Right in the crease of his buttocks there. And then I want to bring this around, and I want to get as high up as I can, bring it around, and actually now backcord it in place. But before I do that, somebody would pass me one of those triangular bandages over there for that. You want to always pat the groin, whether it's a male or female, especially for a male though. You just take a cravat, you lay it across the boys, or the boy, put it up, and you want to Velcro it in place. Okay? Okay, you can tell which way it is. You've got to be dress left or right this morning? You start talking like Michael Jackson, then you probably dress left. I'm sorry, right, okay? But you Velcro that in place, that's super important. I'm going to go ahead and start getting my cradles in place where I want them, okay? What did I say the rule was? Two above, two below.
One above, one below.
Okay?
Where's the fraction?
Mid-shaft fracture, okay? So this one, and you won't always be exact, okay? But you want to try to be as exact as you can, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put those in place, but before I do that, I'm going to transfer over from, right now, Kurt has what we call manual traction. Now I want to transfer over to mechanical traction. So I'm going to come in, lower that leg a little bit. I want to put this in place, and remember, Kurt cannot turn loose. He is committed. Now I'm going to come down, and I'm going to tighten this up. Can't get too tight there, Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm on with him.
Yeah. You all right?
Yep.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're gonna leave this class
Nice
now,
and
one
tight.
in one in the other.
Now I'm going to come around. I'm going to get this one up nice and high. Velcro in place. And remember, never ever on the knee. You might have to come across the leg a little bit. In actuality, if I had to, I would bring this one up and put it across here if I had to. I'm just trying to show you how to fly for right now. Okay, go back, check my tension, tighten up just a little bit more, then I come back, check all of my straps, now you can let go. That's all there is to it.
And what do you do?
I
didn't. What do you do with them now?
Very good question. Now what you do with them is, put them on the backboard, secure it to the backboard, move them from here to the stretcher and take them to the hospital. If he's Jeffrey, you might have to actually put a lumber flag on and leave the back door down. Huh?
If you're going to roll them, right?
What do you mean?
Roll
Run them away from the injury, or what's wrong with, if you have the room, bring the backboard from the head and just put it under. Or bring it from the feet and just put it under. Either way. Now, in reality, if it's somebody like Jeffrey that's really, really tall, just put him on the stretcher backwards so that his feet are actually where the head is. So he might have to rest the end of the darn thing in the captain's chair on the ambulance, but at least we can now close the freaking door. Okay? Make sense?
Or up in the front cab.
Exactly. So yeah, if you got Manute Bowl or somebody like that, that's what you're going to have to do. Okay, take them out. One more thing and then we'll go home.